awaydaysbeer.com. Proud to partner with Talking Town. For only $14.99, grab your ITFC Legends Pack from The Beat to Hoppy Robson to Brazil's Best and Pablo's Pal. Whatever you need, whatever you want. ITFC Legends Pack, $14.99 at awaydaysbeer.com. Grab it today. Mass Creations are proud partners of Talking Town. High quality web and software development. From web development to SEO and everything in between, make your vision a reality with Mass Creations. Call 07896 904 571 or visit masscreations.co.uk or email info@masscreations.co.uk. Mass Creations, proud partners of Talking Town. Don't forget, tell them you came from Talking Town to get 10% off. Best Burger in Stone Market, proud partners of Talking Town. Call 01449 680 058 to book a table today.
Indicates an important announcement.
Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to Talking Town on a Thursday night. That's right. Do not adjust your screens, your calendars, whatever. It is a Thursday evening, but Talking Town is live. I've got, one half. I've got the Cruncher in the building. The media mogul, Matt Phillips, I think was washing his hair or doing something this evening to render him not available. As always, we'd like to have you involved. There will be a live link for you to come on and have your say in on the show, and of course we have a live chat which we want you to get active in as well. You have to excuse me this evening. I have got a throat condition, so I will be all over the shop. I've not been feeling too well today. Cruncher, I can see in the VIP area, is swigging away at some Away Days beer. Absolutely first class promotion there, Crunch. Yeah, Star Spangled Tractor. Yeah, you can get it now at awaydaybeers.com. Look at that. It's a well-oiled machine here at Talking Town. Before we go any further, if you do have to nip out, as we can do that now in these non-COVID times, you can listen back to us on any platform, any podcast platform that is. Just search Talking Town, ITFC Fan Show. You'll find us. And of course, please do leave 5 stars. Right, let's see what's in the chat. We've got Mike D. Welcome in, my man. I hope you're well. Nikki Muller, Lee Anderson, Jason Clayton, Mark Rattle. Look at this. Absolutely buzzing the chat. I'm loving it. Absolutely. Oh, Victoria Henderson's in the chat. She's got some big stakes coming up regarding certain Town players. She hopes that won't be coming true. I know I was asked to clip a few things up. I will be doing that over the course of the day. We do have our Ko-Fi. You can support us through there. The link is in the chat. And of course, you can head to our Teespring for all our merchandise. Right, let's bring in the hard truth, shall we? Let's get the show going. Sir Richard Moss, you finished some of those then?
Look at that. Beautiful. Thank you to Josh at Away Days Beers. I think they're actually flying out, Martin, the boxes.
Really? Fantastic.
And I've got a great Merlin sticker, Guy Whittingham.
That's a flashback, isn't it?
Yeah. But he was in a Sheffield Wednesday kit, not Pompey, because he was known for Portsmouth, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
So, yeah, I'm having a bit of Star Spangled Tractor. I've had a couple of sips. Very nice.
Good stuff.
You need to lubricate your tonsils, mate.
I certainly do. I've kind of got a fisherman's friend.
Describe it in your voice.
Describe, as you have a sip there of the fantastic beer, describe it to us for those that have not got some.
I wasn't an ale fan, you know. But since Hoppy Robson was my favourite. Butcher's Bandage. This is my third one, so I've only had a couple of sips. Game Changer Pale Ale. It slides down like a dream.
Good man. Right, before we go any further, I want to discuss the next sensation, the next big thing, as Brock Lesnar used to be called. It is, of course, your lad, because he got a fantastic goal at the weekend, just gone.
Yeah, so still unbeaten. The Invincibles, Sawston, under 10s, Greens. We had a 7-0 victory, and so Archie, he plays at the back, so he's not going to really score. And we were winning quite comfortably. So Lee, the coach, put him up front for the last 5 minutes, and he, you've seen the goal. It's on my Twitter if anyone wants to look at it, because we can't show it tonight because we're not allowed. But yeah, it was a tap in, but it's good movement. He's there 2 yards out. And on Saturday, yeah, I need to be careful what I say here, because they've been invited to attend a football festival at the Lotus training ground, which is the home of them up the road. So they're going there. Look, it's a big opportunity for them. Look, I've said to him, make sure you take your Town shirt, just put it under your shirt, and just if we score, just whip it off. But
why always me?
No one's allowed to attend. So I was working anyway, so I can't take him. So they've got to drop him off and then wander around Norwich for 3 hours and then go and pick him up later. So look, it's a great opportunity for the kids, playing at a Premier League football stadium. But I did say this morning, Mark, the assistant, had put a post on Facebook, and I said, when you're there on Saturday, just ask them, this is for you, Colin, just ask how many European trophies they've won.
0. Naughty. But they did have a great away day at Bayern Munich once, as Colin was telling us only a week ago.
Big shout out, Brett Johnson. So my cap come via FedEx. So cheers, Brett.
Ironic that, because you make most of us fed up.
I'll buy one of these. Hey?
So it's ironic that, really, because you make most of us fed up X. Here he is, our resident Peaky Blinder. He's a media mogul in training, He's got his own podcast.
He's the face of Ipswich Town.
He is.
I'm the face of Ipswich Town.
Beautiful.
Many faces, mate.
Beautiful.
Lee Anderson loves this intro.
Best intro. That is the best intro.
It is. Without a doubt, it is. Talk to me first of all about your fantastic new podcast, because I'm loving the series. Nicky Forster last week was absolutely top notch, knocked it out of the park.
I'm on the second one with was it Andrew who plays the goalie for Coggeshall?
It was Michael Kennedy's second one, second episode. But yeah, it's People Behind Brands. It's a podcast all about life lessons from the world of business. So yeah, it's nothing to really do with football. Although my first guest was obviously Nicky Forster, but he's now a goal setting coach. So he's got his own sort of venture going on. So yeah, it's been good to chat to people. They sort of really go quite deep with their with their experiences in life and business. So yeah, give it a listen. Available on Spotify and all major sort of platforms. So yeah.
And Amazon, which is where I listen through it. I listen through Amazon.
Yeah.
I haven't yet worked out how I give a 5-star review though. So once I do, I will be doing that.
Yeah. Good man.
Because it needs to have those 5 stars. But Amazon, for some reason, have hidden where you leave your review, and I haven't had a chance to look at it. But I've been loving it. I really have. And of course, talk to us about you becoming the face of the franchise, the face of our illustrious football club, Ipswich Town. How did that come about?
Well, I mean, Mark Detmer went on the phone to me the other day, and all the rest of them, and they said, "Do you fancy just coming on to be the face of Ipswich Town?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" You know.
Right.
So yeah, but no, that's bullshit. But actually, how it happened was that I think there was some sort of like Facebook post going about. It said looking for anyone who wants to model the new kit, as in like the retro stuff. So yeah, just thought fuck it, go on then.
Yeah, you thought, fuck it, go on then. I'll get myself a new wardrobe free of charge. Yeah. And they sent you home with what?
They sent me a polo shirt. So I wore a polo shirt and a like a track top, 80s track top style. But yeah, I got to keep the polo shirt, stuck it on eBay. So whoever's got that, that used to be mine. I only worn it once. But yeah, so I didn't get to keep the track top, unfortunately. But they are nice. They are very nice.
Yeah, they do look nice. My D says I forgot to wear I've got to wear a cap. You do not hide this hair under a cap. These two gentlemen are not.
Apparently the mogul they asked him, but they couldn't see him because he's so small. Had to have a booster on his seat, didn't they? Poor old Matt. I see him in the chat there under Facebook user tonight.
Yes. He hasn't given the show permission to use his name. Terrible, isn't it?
His missus has got an event. That's why he wasn't allowed on tonight. He's not allowed out to play.
So he says. Talking about not coming out to play, or certainly not coming out to play until it was too late. United last night, Europa League. Let's kick things off with that. Did either of you watch it? Did you both watch it?
Yes, watched it all.
I didn't watch it, but to be honest with you, I'm not really surprised actually because I think United are a bit of a they're a bit of a 50-50 team. They either give you all or nothing, and I'm not sure Solskjaer is the answer if I'm honest. But De Gea was a bit of a. I did hear that De Gea obviously missed the penalty, didn't he? So he had a bit of a nightmare. Yeah,
going down in instalments for those penalties. Crunch, what did you make of it yesterday?
That's my goat. My goat is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer leaving it till the 100th minute to make a substitution. It didn't surprise me the way they started because they've got a real poor record of conceding first. But I still thought at half-time, they'll come back and win this. Villarreal, Matt Phillips, Mike D, there he is. It's a Farmers League. They finished 7th, Villarreal did, in La Liga. If they played in the Premier League, they wouldn't finish in the top 10. Absolute dog shit they are. But they done the job last night. Emery set them up tight, got a set piece, got a goal, which was a real poor goal. I don't know if you see it, Martin. Lindelof is so weak as a centre-half. And if you watch the goalkeeper, his feet are all over the shop. I think he should have saved that. He's going backwards and he can't bring himself forward. But I still thought they'd go on and win. Got the equaliser second half. And then you think, don't you, 65 minutes, you change the game, Mark. You look at your bench. You've got, Donny van der Beek. They signed him for 35 million. He's hardly played.
Yeah.
Rashford was having a stinker. I want to touch on Rashford because I was talking to Callie today. The disgusting abuse that he's received today.
Yeah. Shocking.
On social media. He's had over 70 posts. One of them was even from a teacher. He had an open account. And you think, until you nail these absolute see you next Tuesdays. I was talking to Colin this morning. It's like he said, it's like your neighbour over the fence giving you abuse. And you say, come on, come around here and say it to my face. And until they get the people... You have to be verified with your passport on social media. This is going to continue to happen.
Yeah, it will, sadly so. And media blackouts such as we did have, have proven so far to be not effective because you don't do anything to follow it up with, do you? You have that 24 hours where all the clubs went silent and all the people around Football went silent, and then nothing. And Twitter just sort of, well, it's one weekend of inactivity. We need to go further with it and get a bit more in depth.
You need to nail this, people. It's got to be a criminal offence. There has to be consequences. If you
this teacher could lose his job. I don't know what's going on there, because the local authorities aren't going to be smiling, are they, when they hear that?
It's not a question of if anymore, though, is it? It's a question of when, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen that because it's so rife now, and obviously players, if they promote the fact that they're actually being targeted and stuff like that, then more will be done with it. But if nobody talks about it, then obviously nothing's going to get done. It's not anything. But obviously Rashford's been quite brave and come out and obviously said that, was it over 70 different types of abuse that he got or whatever. So. It's a question of when, isn't it?
Yeah, but he had a stinker, didn't he? He had an absolute stinker, Rashford.
Didn't play well, no, he didn't.
He's had a very average season, though, if I'm honest. I don't think he's been top draw at all. I think probably struggle, to get in that England side, if I'm honest.
I think United are average, Mark. If you look, they say they've improved this season. Have they improved? You look at Liverpool, have had a real shit season with the injuries. They finished 5 points behind them. Chelsea have gone through a managerial change. So United, what are they? 13 points behind City. But if you watch I don't know if either of you watched the United Way on Sky on the documentaries. You want to watch that because you think now it's like second place. They're celebrating second place, and Man United were never about that. It was all about
celebrating it. They're celebrating the improvement of it.
It's not an improvement. Man United are bang average. They are a bang average team. Solskjaer is a bang average manager.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. Not disagreeing with that at all. How did you rate the BT coverage yesterday? Because I absolutely loved the fact that it was all Man United players. I love that biased punditry. I'm English. I want my England teams to do well.
If you heard what Jake Humphrey come out of a great thing, I think it was before the penalty shootout when he said, most people in England will want Man United to win. And I'm thinking, Leeds fans, Liverpool fans, City fans, Chelsea fans, are they all wanting United to win? Not a fucking chance.
I can't speak for them because I'm not one of their fans. But I know whenever any English team plays in Europe, I always want them to win and do well.
Right, so I'll spin it round. Say England get knocked out the Euros and Scotland go through instead and Wales go through. Are you going to be supporting them?
Well, yeah, I guess actually I probably would do.
Fuck off. No chance.
Well, over Germany or Poland.
Look at you've only got to look, Mark. I don't know if you remember the last Euros when we got knocked out by Iceland, and you look at them Wales players, them videos that went viral of them celebrating. No chance. I'm not supporting the Jocks or the Welsh. No hope.
Bit different international football though. This is not international football. This is on the club stage. Anyway, talking of club football, we have our first friendly announced today. Ipswich Town, Dartford away, gets the pulse racing. That does really gets the. Are
you going?
No, I'm not. I was going. It was in the basket. I'd messaged Neil Moles to say I got the tickets, and then I spoke. Fuck off! Fuck off.
He spoke to the boss. He spoke to the boss and she said, no, you can't go.
And she said, no, I can't go, so I'm not going. You're a bastard. No, it turns out it's her birthday celebratory weekend for turning 30.
Does she not fancy a trip to Kent? She
was going with us, but apparently that's not... Dartford away is not as appealing as I thought it was.
I don't think I blame her, actually.
No, she wants a trip to the zoo. So anyway... Next friendly is to be announced soon. If you could choose a friendly, who would you choose and why, Mr. Tuxford? Where do you want the town to go next?
Well, I mean, I've always fancied like a bit of a trip abroad type thing, like a cup sort of tournament, if you know what I mean. But we've never really had that. I don't think, not recently. It's even been like under McCarthy. It was always Ireland, weren't it? And then. What else was there?
Germany. Was there a tournament in Germany?
Oh yeah, we did do Germany. That's true. Actually, yeah.
One-off. Oh, it was a tournament. Was it a tournament?
Yeah,
was
it
a one-off?
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. I missed it.
So yeah, I mean, like something like that again would be quite nice. But I think, like in previous years, it's always been quite local. We've either had like Collier every season. I just think we need to test ourselves against better opposition. No disrespect to Collier fans or anything, but I just think it was. Well, yeah, Dartford. It's just. whoever it is, we just need to be testing ourselves against better opposition, because I think that will fare us better as the season goes on. So I'd like to see maybe a couple of League One sides potentially. I know that's quite boring, but I mean, that's, you know, you sort of get the gist then. But also, you know, I wouldn't say no to like a West Ham or something like that, or, you know, certainly a Premier League side, maybe to come to Portman Road. So I think it was last season that we went to Tottenham, the new stadium there, but there wasn't many games at Portman Road last year, from what I remember, was there?
Played West Ham, didn't we?
They were doing the pitch, weren't they?
Yeah. Played West Ham, didn't we? That was the only one.
Yeah. I do like that what you've said there, and I do remember the Germany trip. I missed the flight, so because we were in the pub at the airport too long, and by the time we'd finished, I know, we got there for I don't know 6 a.m. let's say, and we
where'd you go? Wetherspoon's breakfast.
Yeah. We're chugging the pints, and of course it says, you know, go to your gate, and normally it says go to your gate for a long time, doesn't it? So we're like, right, one more round, then we'll go. Got a round in, had a pint or two. This is me, Rob, and a couple of other people. Neil Moles was there. And we finished up, went to the gate, and the gate's closed. So we're like, oh my God, no. So we ended up driving. One person who hadn't drunk yet drove us from London to Dusseldorf. We missed the football, but absolutely got on it the Friday and the Saturday night. And that was a great weekend. But yeah, I do like the idea of Dusseldorf. If they're smart, they could have done that sort of every other year. So 1 year go to there, then 1 year have them here and have West Ham involved in a friendly. Because obviously Dusseldorf are quite a decent team by all accounts in Germany. You could have West Ham, Dusseldorf, us as a tournament here, and then go across to there. Do you know what I mean?
Did we ever get that friendly with Lazio after Matteo Sereni's transfer?
No, they still owe us that.
Running scared, didn't they?
Yeah. We could have that could be as our little tournament. It could be the Portman Road Cup, Lazio, Dusseldorf, and Dartford.
Yeah, I love that. Crunch. If you could have one friendly, if you could pick the friendly next, who would it be and why?
It would be Norwich City in the Hospital Cup. Because they used to play that. I remember when John Lyle was manager, we had the Hospital Cup. I think we walloped them 4-0 one season. Look, I know at the minute we're probably way off them, but I think
that now.
I don't think they'd allow a Norwich Ipswich friendly, would they? Because there'd be so much trouble.
They tried a Norwich Ipswich Good Friday league game. That didn't go too well, if I remember correctly.
Well, on and off the pitch.
On and off. On the pitch,
your mate played in goal that night. He was absolute toilet.
It wasn't his fault.
Fuck off. But Alan Lee Barrett, worst keepers we've had.
Aaron Lee Barrett versus Norwich, that game. That literally was that. And then Andy Drury came in at half time and run that show, gave the ball away a couple of times, admittedly, and they scored off the back of that.
Bullard scored an absolute worldie.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that the one that Bullard put one in top bins? Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Other than that, look, Leyton Orient away. I've not done their ground. Decent day out in London. We played there. I think.
Well, rumor has it, Crunch, that Jordan, Henshaw. Is it Henshaw? He's still there. Alex Henshaw is still there somewhere. Because that was the last time anyone ever saw him. He dangled out a leg at Leyton Orient, gave away a penalty, and no one ever saw him in a blue shirt again. So some say that Mick dropped him off there somewhere because no one saw him after that.
Is he playing there?
Exactly.
Someone in the chat, find out Alex Henshaw, Google him and find out.
I'm sure he's in non-league somewhere. I think he is.
Definitely non-league.
Last thing, giving away a penalty at Leyton Orient. But that was a good day out, that. We did a few of those Olympic bars. That was good. Really good day out. Anyway, Crunch, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I've not been there. It's, so they got Kenny Jackett and his new manager as well. I want to play someone. If it's over here, I'd like it to be like somewhere where, look, Colchester, like you say, Mark, it's boring, isn't it? We play them each season.
Yeah.
We can go and see Scouse and probably Sears and all that. But do you really want to go to their Solar Stadium? Not really. I'd rather play even like a Northampton, someone like them away. Just a new ground to give the fans somewhere new to go. I remember once, Martin, I went to Boston when they were in the league. We played them away. Andy Marshall was playing in goal. I had a chat with him. Nice bloke. Crap goalie.
Yeah, he wasn't too good, was he, in goal? I was reading an article today that was from like 2002 where he was hitting back out at Matteo Serini, who had been saying that there'd been favouritism shown to Marshall from the management, and those were the days, weren't they? But
Serini asked for a break, didn't he? There was at
Dagenham.
some point in the season he asked for a break.
It was a FA Cup third round, wasn't it, in January against Dagenham and Redbridge?
4-1 went to that game. Marshall played in goal.
Yeah, that wasn't. Marshall's not.
I always remember Serini from Charlton away when we'd gone on a great run, hadn't we? I think we beat Spurs, we beat Leicester, and we played Charlton away. I think it was New Year's Day, guys. The pitch was frozen, and Serini, I could see him in the warm-up, didn't fancy it. We were 2-0 up after 5 minutes. Marcus Bent got 2 goals, and we somehow lost that game 3-2. And I thought, you don't fancy it that day. He was looking, I'm thinking.
I haven't recovered any since. Mike D wants any London side. Lee Baylor says, have friendlies against clubs of our owners. So that's a couple of American guys.
Have you been to Barnet, either of you, the new ground?
No, I haven't.
That looks like the Hive. That looks a nice little ground.
Yeah.
James Parker says Southend away. David says Bristol City. It's local nearly. Must be to him because it's not local to us. That's a trick enough. Stephen Perry says Cambridge. Right. But Victoria Henderson does say...
They're in our league, Stephen. Yeah, what are you on about? We're not playing a friendly.
Don't we need a team before we play a friendly? Which brings us on to the next point of order. Sunderland trio. Wyke Power and Josh Hawks have been linked. Crunch, if you could choose one of those 3, who would you have and why?
Look, I'll take Charlie Wyke, but it's a massive but at the minute because we need, I think you said before, Martin, I don't think it really matters what sort of striker we sign. It's the 3 people behind. So if you watch him when he's played at Sunderland, the majority of his goals come from McGeady, don't they? I think he got 16 assists and he lays them balls on a plate. Now, is Gwion Edwards, we're probably going to talk about him, is he going to lay them on a plate to Charlie Wyke? No, he's not. Yeah, so I would take him because he got 31 goals. Would he have teams in the Championship looking at him? I don't know. Max Power, I'll just take him for his name because it's a great name. But yeah, Charlie Wyke for me.
Tugs?
Well, I agree with what Crunch is saying, but I think it is a case that with Wyke, as Crunch said, it was, McGeady puts it on a plate for him, and all he's got to do is score. But I've watched Sunderland a lot this season because I've got family at Sunderland supporters as well. So the thing with that is he's missed so many sitters. Really, he should have scored about good 40 goals, really. But yeah, I quite like Max Power. I've always thought he's been decent against us, but also over the course of last season, I thought he was all right. Filled in at right back for them, I think. Quite solid for them.
He took at Wigan, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, so I think, I'd probably take both, but the only thing that worries me about Wyke is that was last season a bit of a purple patch? Was it because of McGeady setting him up all the time? Did he get the rub of the green? And then you've got, it's a little bit what some people sort of say about Norwood. It's that, scored loads of goals at Tranmere, gets a move somewhere else, doesn't score as many. So yeah, to be honest, I think Wyke will sign a new deal at Sunderland, and I think we'll probably get Power because of the Cook link.
Yeah, I don't know any one of them. To be fair, they're all they're all fairly decent players and better than what we're used to. Wyke does intrigue me because is it a one-season thing or is it? Can he bring other elements to the game?
Yeah,
we haven't seen. How about Gwion Edwards then? That was mentioned just a second ago. Sucks because this is a manager that said he couldn't trust players, didn't like the players, all of that. And that we still read we're still in contract negotiations with Gwion Edwards. Does that surprise you, first of all? And then,
I don't know. I mean, I think with Edwards, I think he's not been played enough in his rightful position, which is on the left wing for me. Yes, he could play right wing, and he played actually right wing back, hasn't he, at most of the time? But he doesn't get played enough as a left winger to cut in. That's his speciality. That's how he does his football. That's how he plays. He cuts in and he whips the ball in. But more often than not, especially towards the back end of last season, his balls into the box, his quality of delivery was absolutely shocking. So I wouldn't be too disappointed if we didn't re-sign him. But also, I think he's had talks with MK Dons. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes elsewhere. But at the same time, I wouldn't be too disappointed if he stays. So,
well, what do you want him to do?
I think if because we have to keep some sort of players, I'd probably say sign him up.
Okay, Crunch, would you sign him up?
In the bid.
Yeah, really?
No, I think he will mostly, if he leaves town this summer, he will mostly be known for a flick against Blackburn and a goddamn awful free kick. That will be his two highlights for town. Other than, look, he has scored 6 goals this season, but he had that purple patch, didn't he? I think in October when he scored about 4. Yeah. I think there's a player there. He's another one. I think when we had Darragh on, Martin, he said he doesn't play enough. I think when he let him go at Peterborough, I think he was only playing like half the season. Yeah, I wouldn't be keeping him. And another reason, he's got a goddamn awful golf swing. I've seen some of his golf on Norwood's Instagram. Dreadful. No, get him gone. We need better than him.
Okay. You say 6 goals, and that's a fair point. But is that enough in a 4-2-3-1 where your goals predominantly come from your... comparing to McGeady, for example, and so obviously Sunderland should be a promotion rival next year. I say that because we're not a rival for promotion anytime soon. When you compare him to McGeady, we compare him to other players that are in the same sort of position and inside top 6 sides. Is he somebody we should be giving re-signing?
I think there's better out there. A player I'd try and sign, he'll probably go to the Championship. Ronan Curtis at Portsmouth. I've been surprised that he's still there, and I probably think they will sell him this summer, and he would probably go to the Championship. But it's all about, I don't know, could we sell someone like that? Another season in League One. I know he's going to be playing at the same level. Could we sell that to him? Look, we're aiming to get out of this league. We've got big ambitions. We'll pay you a little bit extra money. I don't know, but it's them 3 behind, Martin, that are going to be really important because they've got to weigh in with. How many each? 10 goals? Yeah, I think they all have. And your striker as well. And then look, what did Smodics get at Peterborough? 17 goals? Probably something like that. And then you had Dembele was scoring. Obviously, Clark Harris got 30 odd. So they've all got to do their bit. But I still like Charlie Kirk at Crewe. I think he's decent. It depends, doesn't it?
Balaam, Tuxford, there's a question. Joe Piggott, Wimbledon player, who's living on a free. Would you sign him or not?
You without a doubt. Yeah, I've watched him a couple of times for Wimbledon. He seems to be pretty decent. So yeah, I'd sign Piggott. I think he's linked with Championship clubs, but yeah, if it came to it and he wanted to join us, yeah, great, good sign him.
But then that's not necessarily a drawback for us these days. We've got Sonny Bradley. We targeted, obviously stayed at the Championship, but we targeted him. Another player. Jermaine
There's a lot of this. There's going to be a lot of this, though, isn't there? There's going to be a lot of players that get linked with us that are probably a higher calibre of League One. I don't think we'll sign all of them, and it will be a job because Paul Cook, getting these players from the Championship to drop down to League One to a team like Ipswich who haven't really pulled up any trees in the last 3 years. Someone like, as you say, Defoe there. If he's going to go to a League One side, surely he's got to go back to Sunderland because he enjoyed himself there. So you'd think, if anyone's going to be interested in him and who probably can afford him as well, it would be Sunderland because he'd want to go there. But at the same time, I don't know why is he leaving Rangers? Is it out of contract? Is he?
His contract is expiring, but there are contract talks between the two parties ongoing or due to start or whatever. Blue Army says Defoe would just take up the whole wage bill and will be a waste. Do you agree with that, Tux? Would he be a waste if you signed him?
I don't think he'd be a waste. I think he would chip in with goals here and now. I think he scored quite a few goals for Rangers. Obviously add experience to the side as well. But at the same time, do we waste a proportion of the wages on him? But if there's no transfer fee there, then obviously that's a good thing. But at the same time, some of that would have to go back onto wages. And a lot of the time that, players that have come to play for Ipswich, they've been attracted by the big wages. That's where Marcus Evans has fell down there, I think, sometimes, is that he's offered the big wage to essentially journeymen or people that are looking to, retire at Ipswich, essentially. And then they don't want to go. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. But, I mean, if you said to me, like, who would I prefer out of Wyke and Defoe, I think I'd probably say Wyke, potentially, because there's a little bit more of him to go. Do you know what I mean? I think with Defoe, he's coming towards the end of his contract. Is he really that bothered if he joins a League One side like Ipswich? I don't think he is. I think he's there for the payout. But as I say, I think if he goes to a League One side, it would be Sunderland.
Yeah. Crunch, Jermaine Defoe, 38, played, according to this website here, played 11 games, 2 goals. What are you saying?
It's silly season, isn't it? With links. I did see
the local media are reporting it as well, though. Like they're not.
Yeah. I'll repeat it again. It's silly season. I see a stat that he'd only played 370 minutes or something last season. Most of it was off the bench.
Mm-hmm, it was. He made the starting 11, 9%.
Yeah, no, 38. Not the type of player that we need.
No.
Look, Jermaine Defoe's been a goal scorer wherever he's been, but do we really want a 38-year-old who's going to play a bit part? Look, he's better than anything we've got. I'm not saying that he couldn't do a job, but I wouldn't be wasting a lot of wages on him when there's other players. Like I agree with you there, Tux. I'd go for Wyke over him, but I'd go for Piggott overall. If you had to pick between the three, I'd go for Piggott because he's got over 50 goals in this league for AFC Wimbledon, who've been a team who are struggling. So if we could get him in, I think. Look, he's a big man. I've seen him play, but he's got more to his game than that. He's not just as someone else said, one of our players, a big lump. He's not. He's got more to him than that. But I'll reiterate what I said. It's the three behind him that we need someone to load them bullets for him to pull the trigger. And another player I like, I've said on here before, Martin, Scott Twine. He'd be someone I'll be looking at. He's another player. He got 13, 14 goals he was at Newport and Swindon. He can bang one in from 30 yards. He's a decent player, and he's a player you could sign. He could progress, then you could sell him on. So that's the sort of players I'll be targeting.
Does he fit the system? Like you got to think they're going to fit the system. Defoe maybe doesn't. I'd be interested in Defoe on a free at 38, but only as a off the bench type last 10-minute option. You're not going to be getting anything substantial out of him. And then if you're in that market, I'm thinking, well, I need to move on a couple of strikers like Norwood, for example, because in my book, Norwood's an off the bench striker. You don't have two of those. You have one or the other. But people saying what Defoe will be on, we don't know what stage of Defoe's career he is at. If Defoe still thinks he can go 2 or 3 years, he might be looking at other options. If he thinks, this is one, possibly 2, then coaching, and we can offer him a path into coaching, he might take a lot less money than people give him credit for. We just don't know. But as an off-the-bench option, I wouldn't be crying if it suddenly said Jermaine Defoe signs for Town. That's quite exciting.
You're on about age there. You're on about age. And I don't know if either of you watched the Newport game on Sunday, and Kevin Ellison comes on, and he's 42. Yeah. And he's still going, and he scored an absolute worldie, didn't he? So maybe age, you think he's 38, he could have a couple of years, but I wouldn't. I'd be looking elsewhere. I really would.
Yep. Okay. 2 players that have been reported to be on the move. Well, one's definitely gone, obviously. Cole Skuse to Colchester. Some of Cole Skuse's time at ITFC. And what would you say to a Colchester United fan, Tux, if they said, tell me all about Cole Skuse, what are we getting?
Well, I mean, I think sort of earlier on in his Ipswich career, I thought he was the first man on the team sheet for me. I think he was the person that sort of swept everything up and made us look good, especially in that 14-15 season. But obviously, last season you can't really judge him on last season because he was injured, weren't he? But I mean, the season before that, you could see he's losing his legs a little bit. But like most of these players, like Chambers, like Skuse, I think their time was probably up a couple of years ago when they probably should have gone then. Arguably, they probably should have gone under Hurst. But but it's the right decision. It's Chambers and Scouse, as much as I love them, and been great servants for the club and stuff like that. It was time for them to go. I think Scouse will probably do a good job for Cole U. They've just lost Tom Lapsley, who's gone elsewhere. So he'll certainly come in, and if he can stay fit, then I don't think he'll play all the games. But if he can stay fit, I think he'll make a telling contribution. But yeah, good signing from him, I think.
Yeah, Crunch yourself.
I was speaking to someone the other day, and apparently they had a fitness test near the end of the season at Town, and he come out top. So people who say, "Oh yeah, he didn't play a lot this season," yeah, he didn't. But then you've got to look at that was the only real injury he had, didn't he? When he was at the club, what was he there? Yeah. 7 seasons, was he? 7, 8 years.
But it was a knee injury, though, wasn't it? And knees, when you get to a certain age,
maybe solid. Look, solid professional. I agree with Tuxie. That was probably his best season. I think he's a better footballer than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
I do. But he done the job. If you're a Colchester fan, though, are you excited getting Ipswich's cast off? Because obviously you got Gherkin, you got Smith, you got Eastman, Noble. Now you got
Hughes, Chambers.
You probably can get Freddie down there. Chamber, I don't know. He might pop up in. I think he might pop up in League One somewhere.
Yeah.
But look, Scouse, he done what he said on the tin, didn't he?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him. I'm going to be honest.
I think he'll be. I think he's a solid signing. I think he's a solid addition to their midfield. I don't think he'll play every game because
But will he improve them? Like it doesn't bring goals or assists.
Improve them. They finished third bottom of the league.
Yeah. I think in League 2, different league. I think he'll be all right. I don't think he'll pull up trees, but he never pulled up trees at Ipswich. So True. He's one of those players that he's underrated in the terms of what his job is, and he is there to do all the dirty work, do all the stuff in front of the defenders, and obviously lay some balls off to the forwards. But yeah, I think he was probably a little bit selfless actually during his time at Ipswich. I think he probably could have scored a couple more if he really wanted to, but I think his game is all about laying it. Bringing other people into the game. But yeah, I think good signing for them.
But for the very reasons you've both discredited the foe, Cole United fans will be sitting on their own podcasts saying
different player.
Fit by all accounts last year. Excuse wasn't.
Yeah, true, but it's a different player in a different position. Right, as a striker, yes, arguably you probably don't need as much pace because if you've got the instinct and you know where the goal is, you score. Yeah. However, as a midfielder, once your legs go, your legs are gone, and that's a little bit of the case with Scouse. But he's also got that defensive role where he weren't charging about all the time. He'd slide in for a tackle, and he was clever enough up in his head to play the ball at the right time. So that's one thing I will say for him. But yeah, I think it's a decent, solid signing for them, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Crunch, Bishop, Cambridge rumours. I know you've published them on Twitter because you're, ITK Crunch. But
someone I know, taxi driver knows his missus. Said there's no truth in the rumours.
So taxi driver knows his missus of a steward who knows his brother. Right.
I'll drive him to Cambridge. No.
Really?
Yeah, he needs. Look, Teddy is a talented footballer. I'm not saying he isn't. And then, was there a video floating around in the week of his best bits of the season? Was there somewhere I see on social media? And it looked great. Teddy looked great. And I'm thinking anyone could look great in a 2-minute video. Yeah. He's another one of those youngsters who've become comfortable at the football club, I think, living off 14, 15, like Tuck said, when Scouse was there. He came into the team and he made the breakthrough then. Great ball in against Middlesbrough. I'll always remember that when Tab scored that header. And he's another one. He's suffered from injuries. He's actually probably played more this past season than he had in the previous 4. Yeah. But I want better, Martin, in the squad. I want better. And if he went to Cambridge, I know when Jacob says there he lives in Cambridge. He played for Whittlesford as a lad. So I think he comes from Duxford. So it wouldn't shock me if he went. I think he'd be a very good signing for Cambridge.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so if you think it's going to be a good signing for Cambridge, would you want to keep him, Tux? Would you be sad to see him go? Where are you at with that Bishop rumour?
Last season, I can really sort of judge him on last season because he had a full season, sort of with injury free. But the consistency is just never there with him, is it? You know, you'll have a very good game, but then more often than not, it's a very kind of like he's a passenger a lot of the time. I mean, again, I think he's another one who got played out of position. He's for me, he's a number 10 more than he is a central midfielder. It didn't work alongside Dizelle at all. You need someone like a Scouse or a Downs in there alongside a Bishop or a Dizelle. So for me, if Bishop stays, he needs to be that number 10, but he also needs to be the main man somewhere. And sometimes you just need to probably move 100%. On and, you know, get something, a new club maybe somewhere else. And that's probably where he's at the moment. I think, you know, next development of his career, he's not a youngster anymore, really, is he? He's come into his own now. So
is he 24, Tux?
Yeah, I think so, something like that. So if he gets some move to Cambridge,
needs to play every week.
He does, yeah. He needs to. I think for me personally, I think he probably needs to find that next club and, you know, make a run for it. I think so. But yeah, as Crunch said, I think he's a good player. He's a player in there, but I think he probably just needs to move away, change the surrounding, that type of thing.
Okay. Lee says it'd be a good signing for them. Mike D. Mullins would improve them. That's back to Scouse. Michael Finch. All of our players' days were gone. Bloody lazy gits. Jacob Farrow, he lives in Cambridge, so it would make sense. Stephen Parry, he needs a move, so he's too comfy. Matthew wants to hear more about your framed shirt, Mark. Please tell us about your framed shirt, sir.
It is obviously the 99-2000 playoff shirt. It's one of mine, so it's not like a signed shirt or anything. I just popped it in a frame because it's too small for me now. So
fair enough. Thanks ever so much. Blue Army Bishop needs his proper ginger hair like the playoff season. Colin Plum, they do them all the time now, Rich, those 10-second videos. Yeah, and a lot of people saying Bishop's too comfortable. My question would be, can Cambridge give Bishop the money he's on here there?
I don't know what was in his contract because he had it triggered, didn't he? He's obviously had to play a certain number of games. Is he on the same money as he was on previously at Town? No one really knows that, do they? Look, Mike Brown, there he goes. Look, Mike, it's the summer. Let Andre go.
Look, I'm never against anybody earning as much money as they possibly can. That's not what I'm questioning here. It's whether or not a club like Cambridge being promoted could even entertain the idea of
they're not going to have a big budget, are they? I think they had one of the smallest budgets in League Two.
Yes, they did. No, you're right, they did. So as we sit here on the 27th of May, some fans are saying it's still early. Some are really sort of getting itchy and panicky. I'll ask both of you the same question. I'll start with you, Tux. Where are you on your... Let's take a quick water temperature test of where you're currently at with Ipswich Town's activity or summer level.
Well, it's going to be a long summer. It's going to be a few silly weeks of links here and there. One of them being Defoe. And it's going to happen. It's going to be a long summer. I don't think Cook's going to get all the players that he wants because he wants to get the players from the Championship. He wants that Championship quality.
Well, he's already 1-0 down.
Well, yeah, but he's not going to pick up those type of players easily. No. And obviously Bradley being one of them. So yeah, I'm not concerned because, as I say, it's a long season. I think we will get some decent players. I think Cook has got enough about him to bring in those type of players. I think I'd be probably worrying maybe towards, I don't know, middle of June potentially. Middle of June, end of June potentially. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Crunch, where are you currently with it all?
Yeah, we just got to chill out. If you look, there's not many. I see Bristol Rovers yesterday. I think they signed 4 players, but other than that, there's not really a lot of movement at the minute, is there? No. We just got to calm down. Everyone's getting a little bit carried away. You know, they want it all done now. I think there's a lot of our fans want everyone in the building and the season to start tomorrow.
Yeah,
and that's not going to happen. So let's just chill out. He's nearly got his backroom staff. It's still interesting that he's still not got an assistant manager, has he? So
no.
And I was a little bit worried when I had the goalie coach and one of the sports science guys. They're not Scouse, and I thought, well, you're not going to fit in, lads, are you? Because it's like Scouse Mafia down there now, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is. Yeah, but well, okay, fine, right. Talking about the long summer, Euros coming up. Gareth Southgate had one job to do, and he decided to delay it and kick the can down the road and announce an enlarged squad, citing the Champions League and the Europa League as reasons why he needs to do so. Give me 2 players, each of you, that shouldn't be in the final squad. There can be any 2 players that you want out of the ones that he's listed. Crunch, you can go first. Give us a bit longer to think about.
I'll pick the obvious one. Ramsdale.
Yeah.
I never know what he's there for.
Well, I suppose he's there just in case someone falls down the stairs, isn't he?
But he could be on his holidays already.
Come on. Look, I'd see that he was happy that he got called up, but he's...
Of course he was. He's probably got a bonus in his contract.
Nowhere near it, is he?
I'd be delighted.
He's one, definitely.
Okay, that's an easy one. All right, you didn't take too long on that one. Who's your second one then?
Sorry, go on. I was going to say as well.
Right. I think this guy is a really good player, this lad. And I think he'd be really unlucky if he misses out. But I'm going to James Ward-Prowse.
Okay. Yeah. Why? Why would you think he should miss out?
Oh, look, you've got so many midfielders there. He's actually... He's played the last 2 seasons in the Premier League and he's not missed a minute. And I really rate him. I think he's a really good player. I think he could do better than Southampton. But I don't think he's going to get any minutes. He's going to be one of them sort of like he's there for the ride, and he's in training, like warming up the goalies or anything. It is a hard one, and it'd be a bit harsh on him. But I can't see him where he fits in, Martin, at the minute. I can't, honestly. I rate him, but I don't think he fits in the starting 11, even off the bench. I can't see where. 31
players for you to choose from. Tux, give us your 2, my man.
I think the first would be you've got to look at the defence. So for me, if you're going into a tournament, you need to have versatile defenders. So if someone gets injured, sent off, whatever, you need to have versatility in your squad, especially in the defensive ranks. So there's quite a few defenders there, and I'm just looking at ones that aren't quite as versatile. So I'd probably say if I had to pick one of the defenders to not probably take, other than maybe I don't think Ben White's going to go. I also don't think probably Ben Godfrey will go.
Godfrey's a good player. I think he's a really good player. So I know he come from Norwich, but I think he's had a really good season. It all depends on Maguire, doesn't it, I suppose? Yeah,
and that's the thing. I think if Maguire's fit and he's able, then obviously you're taking Maguire. But Connor Cody, for me, I like Connor Cody, but he's not versatile enough for me. So I wouldn't really take Connor Cody based on that. And then if you're looking at the midfield potentially as well, I wouldn't disagree with Ward-Prowse. I'd probably take him over Lingard though, if I'm honest. I think with Lingard, yes, he's had a good season at West Ham, but is he going to play? I don't think he's going to play.
Most informed player in the country.
He is, but is he going to play in that? If you have your top 3 there, because he's probably going to play on the wing or whatever he's going to do. He's not. True. He's not starting, is he?
No.
And quite frankly, you probably have. I think Southgate probably wants Rashford over a Lingard, so I don't see how Lingard is going to play at all in that tournament.
That's a fair point. It is a fair point, but then you've left the door open for me to say Ollie Watkins. I don't think he should be going.
Well, Watkins for me, it goes back to a few years ago, when the old Andy Carroll thing would pop up. Would you take Andy Carroll? Would you put him on your bench for like a plan B, whatever? And for me, I think Ollie Watkins is probably that plan B. And I love a plan B. I love a plan B option that, if it's going very wrong or it's just not going quite right, you can bring a target man on. And he's got more about him than a target man. He scored a lot of goals this year.
Yeah. I think he's been really good. I'd have picked Bamford, Mark, over.
Yeah, but he's not there, so you can't pick Bamford. He's already on the Sun Lounger. All right.
But yeah, I would take Watkins. I'm quite interested in Watkins. Yeah, and then maybe there's probably a question mark maybe over Saka. And maybe Sancho as well. Sancho, for me, in an England shirt, he's 50-50. I know he's young, but he's another one that kind of he's a bit 50-50, and you never know what you're going to get from him. So I think Sancho's looking over his shoulder, if I'm honest.
What if I said I'd leave Jordan Henderson in Liverpool?
Yeah, I think I would, yeah.
Ooh, I thought it'd be a bit controversial. Tux agrees. Crunch.
I think I would, purely because, I mean, he's not played much for Liverpool this year. But also, he is that experience, isn't he? He's that second in command after Kane. So, I don't know. Do you take him for that? But I don't know.
Crunch? Henderson?
He'd be in the squad. Look, you could flip it the other way, Tux, and you could say he's not played that much. He's going to be fresh. He might be fresher than some of them. He wouldn't be in my starting 11. I don't agree with Jason Clayton there. Bellingham, nailed on. He's had a great season at Dortmund. He's had a great season. Look, it's a fullback who's got to go as well. I know you'd leave Trent out, wouldn't you, Martin?
I would leave it. Yeah, Alexander-Arnold at home. Yeah, as with the dog. Would you both agree with that?
I don't know about Trent. No, I mean, I think Trent's a good player. I think he would actually be better further forward for Liverpool in a way. But
it all depends what formation we
play. He's a good
player,
but he's not the most informed right back. And I know you keep discrediting the La Liga. Yeah, Trippier had a fantastic year helping a team win a league title.
Barcelona average, Madrid
doesn't
average.
Matter how average, you've still got to win a division you've not won.
Danny Simpson won a league title, Martin.
He was a decent player at one point of his career. I mean, if you can sit here and tell me with a straight face Ashley Cole was the world's best left back for a period of time,
he was.
Then
did you see that clip? Did you see that clip the other day at the Euros when he absolutely he put Ronaldo to bed?
So hang on, are you saying that Ashley Cole wasn't the best left back at one stage?
I must have slipped my head and gone into a coma for 3 years because I don't remember it. I don't remember. He's no Dennis Irwin, is he? I think best left back that's ever played for England, Ashley Cole. Best left back that's ever played in the Premier League, Ashley Cole. All day. Come
on, Mike.
Who's
Nigel Winterburn?
Have a day off.
I can't.
Totally agree with Lee Anderson. Winning a title doesn't make you the best player. Spot on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it all depends with. So if Maguire was injured, I think at the minute, I reckon we'll play 4 at the back. If Maguire was out, I would go to a 3 because I wouldn't want a Stones and a Mings together. I wouldn't. And this is where, if we went 3 at the back, Trent would be my wing back all day long.
Completely agree.
All right. Yeah. I can see the argument for it.
And we weren't poor with a 3 or 5 at back, what you want to call it, in the last Euros. You know, we were pretty decent. And we didn't play great opposition. But I think that may be why he's got quite a few defenders there. He's probably waiting on Maguire to see how fit he's going to be. But yeah, Maguire is the main centre back there, isn't he?
Going back to Henderson, Martin. I don't want to see Southgate playing 2 holding midfielders at this tournament. Yeah. We are playing the majority. I think there's one game we could play in Rome if we win the group to get onto the final. We've got to get as many attacking players on that pitch as we can, and I don't want to have another tournament where it's it was so near for England. If we'd have played a Grealish or if we'd have played a Foden, we've got to get as many attacking players on that pitch as we can because when you look at the team. So I've got my midfield 3, Mount, Rice, Foden, and then I've got Grealish, Kane and Sterling. Come on. We should be... Don't be afraid of what Belgium have got, what France have got. Yeah. Let them look at what we've got. You know, this is a tournament we should win. We should be looking to win it. Semi-finals is not good enough.
Mike D, he'll play 2 holders as soon as knockout football starts.
Well, that'll be his downfall.
I don't know.
I do think he'll play holding midfielders, if I'm honest. I do think he'll play holding midfielders. I think he'll play, obviously, Rice.
Phillips.
Whether he takes Henderson or not, I think he'll probably play Phillips, yeah.
But then to do that, do you think he needs to play ultra-attacking wing back?
If you're gonna play, 2 holding midfielders, go full steam ahead. The 4 players in front of him.
Play Alexander-Arnold. If you're playing 2 holding midfielders, I'll play Trent.
Yeah.
There's certainly arguments for it.
But then Sterling, you put Sterling in your team, Mark, because at the minute He's not. He won't play in the final on Saturday for City. He's another one. He's a decent club player. He really needs to show it at international stage now. He needs to have a big tournament.
Yeah.
I still say his best moment for England was that ghost goal against Italy. When we all thought it was in, celebrating with our pints, and then BBC changed their minds. I still say that was in. Talking about the best of the best, as we quickly close up tonight's show, Champions League this weekend, Man City, Chelsea. Who have you got taking the spoils? Tux, who have you got?
Well, for me, it's City, I think. I think Chelsea have got a surprise in them, but at the same time, I think City are too strong. I'd like to see City win it. Aguero to come on the last few minutes or whatever he's going to do and have a swan song. So, yeah, City for me.
Crunch?
Should have been played at Wembley.
Well, it's not though, is it?
It shouldn't have been over there. When they got through Chelsea against Madrid, I thought Tuchel, and then they beat them in the league, I think, on the Saturday. I really thought that they might do a job, but they've gone off the boil, haven't they? They lost the cup final. They were very fortunate to get fourth, really, because they lost at Villa.
They were unlucky with that cup final.
Hey?
They were unlucky with that cup final. Don't start with a VAR crap again.
He was offside.
Fuck, he wasn't offside. He wasn't offside.
Look in the books, 1-0 Leicester. Yeah, so
offside. It wasn't offside, was it?
It was offside. I can't see anything other than City win. I really can't. I hope it's a good game, because sometimes you get these finals, like the game last night. That was a shit game, wasn't it? Because Villarreal didn't want to play; they just wanted to spoil. I just hope that Chelsea turn up and they have a go at City.
Yeah.
Don't sit back, and I know they'll probably sit back and look to hit him on the counter with Werner, who's he's had more offside goals than anyone this season. I think he'd have had about 25 goals if he knew how to fucking stay on side. But I can only see probably a 2-0 City victory. I can't see anything other than that.
Yeah.
Matty Cott's gone 2-1 Chelsea. Mason Mount masterclass. Lee, City will win. If not, Vicky will give a blue moon on the show. Stephen Parry, they get hyper up in this dial. League City, because I'm from near Manchester. I think it's written in the stars, isn't it, for a Sergio Aguero, Didier Drogba moment where he bows out with a goal or a moment of something that's just written in the stars that this is his goodbye. Particularly a few days after Man United choked.
He might not even get on the pitch. He might not even get on the pitch.
He will. I could see a penalty shootout. And I can see Aguero clinching it for City, and then it'll be, one Manchester team could deliver.
You're a bit romantic, isn't you, really?
I am a little bit. Yeah.
Look, we'd all love to see. Look, Aguero's been one of the best imports, isn't he? If you go through the history of the Premier League and you look at your Bergkamps, your Henrys, Aguero has to be up there. He really does.
Yeah. I haven't seen such emotion. I don't know, either of you two, from a manager about a player as I saw from Pep the other night in regards to I've in my 31 years, I've never seen that type of outpour of emotion visibly. It's not a bad thing; it's a good thing. But I've never seen it before. Have you, Tux?
Not with a certain manager and a certain player. No, I mean, if you're looking at kind of like emotional managers, I mean, you probably look at someone like Klopp, who's probably quite passionate about that type of thing. I think the only one that I could probably say that's anywhere near it would be Wenger and Henry. And for me, Henry will always be in my head the best Premier League player ever, because he just had that extra bit about him. And then for me, closely would be Aguero. Yes, okay, Shearer's the top goal scorer in the Premier League, but those two players had something special about them. So yeah.
Okay, Crunch, have you? All right, I'll welcome back to you because your dogs are doing what my dogs do normally in the background. Go on, son. What's that, son? Right. Don't forget, check out this man here's podcast. Tux, one more plug before we go, please.
People Behind Brands, Life Lessons from the World of Business, available on Spotify and all podcast streaming services. So yeah, please go and have a look, give it a listen, and get involved.
Absolutely. We'll be back at the weekend on Sunday. Might be some snow falling as we head towards the weekend, but for now, with love, with care, we will see you all on Sunday.